Ponyfans.com here with junior wide receiver Cole Beasley. Some of your teammates have talked about you having a different approach this offseason, studying more film, getting in the weight room more. What brought that change about, and what can you tell us about your different approach?
Well, after last season, I had a little setback at the beginning of the year, but then I feel like I got back into it, and then towards the end of the year, I started doing better, so I feel like I have something to build on. And then come to the off season, I felt like it was kind of my year to break out after the Hawaii Bowl. So I was just in the weight room trying to get stronger, trying to build my physical body. I was just trying to get after it.
You mentioned the Hawaii Bowl. Your other breakout game was, I guess, the Tulsa game. Do those individual games feel like sort of a coming out party for you, or was it a gradual process through the course of the year?
Yeah, I felt like the Tulsa game is what got it started, really, because at the beginning my confidence sort of got down a little bit, and after that game it brought it back up, and I felt like I had a good game, and then I felt like I could move faster. Chill out, man. I could move faster and play to the ability that I needed to, so it really helped me.
Some of your teammates have talked about how much stronger you are, that you're benching 320 or 30 or 40 or something like that. How much stronger have you gotten, and specifically how does that translate into making you a better receiver?
I'm a lot stronger than I look, because I'm really small. I probably weigh more than I've ever weighed, though, at 179. So, I got little arms, but I can get it up there. And my squat's real strong, too. But as a receiver, inside we're always messing around with those backers. So I feel like you got to be pretty strong to get off of them. They're big physical guys. And so I've just been in the weight room trying to get as big as I can.
Coach Reinbold talked about how you're a big fan of Wes Welker, and that how in the offseason he asked you to go study some of Wes Welker. What did you learn in watching tape or watching interviews with him that you can then carry over to your own preparation and your own play?
The biggest thing with Wes that he does better than me is right now is every time he catches the ball, he's already at full speed. So that's the main thing I'm trying to work on right now, is right when I catch it, getting upfield as fast as possible. Because I feel like Wes probably runs like a 4.6, but he's real quick and shifty. But the biggest thing with him, being as small as us, we got to be at full speed right when we catch the ball. That's what we got to use our abilities, and our abilities is quickness. So
you lose Emmanuel Sanders to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I guess the common assumption might be that Aldrick Robinson would be the leader of the receivers group just because he's the senior. But you and Brad Haynes and Cole Lofton, also juniors, do you take on some of that leadership role, and how is it different being a leader at receiver than when you were a high school quarterback and leading your offense at Little Elm?
Oh, it's a little different because as a quarterback, everybody looks to you to lead by example, but the leader of the receiving corps is a bit different. We only lead within our group, really. I mean, I'll try to get the guys going at other positions too, but it's a little different than being at quarterback. Quarterback, everybody's looking at you. It's a lot more pressure at quarterback. It's not as much at receiver. But me and Lofton and Brad, like you said, we've been in the offense for a while too now, so we know the offense just as well as Ron Bolden and Coach Jones and them. So now we're really learning it. So Al's a good leader, but as you know, he's gonna be gone after this year, so we got to step up too and start getting in those roles right now.
Last year, Emmanuel was, good for close to 100 catches. Is it possible that this receiver group could be even a little more dangerous simply because a defense can't automatically lock in on one guy and know that if Kyle gets in trouble, he's looking for 17?
Hey, Kyle's gotten a lot better since last year. We've been working all summer, and he's going to get it to whoever's open. And I feel like the receiving core we got right now is better than the one we had last year because everybody's developed their abilities all together. So, I mean, last year we kind of just leaned on Emmanuel to make big plays when the time was right. But this year I think anybody can make a big play at any time.
Okay, you mentioned how much better Kyle is, and you can look at him and see that he's put on 20 pounds or whatever it is since the start of last season. But in terms of the way he leads the offense, like think about practice prior to his first start last year and practice now. What are the differences in the way he carries himself and the way he communicates with the rest of you on the offense?
Well, now he knows he can do it. Last year coming in, you could ask him after right when he came in during that Houston game, he was probably the most nervous person on the field. But now he's more confident in his abilities, and he knows he can do it. So I think that's the biggest thing from last year to this year, his confidence.
You got a bunch of new freshman receivers in there, and who has stood out to you out of that group? Who looks like they might be able to contribute early on?
Probably Larry Sanders has been pretty good, and Jeremy Johnson There's the guy right behind me, call him Worm. Worm. He's been real good. He's picking up on the offense real fast. It's probably because he was a quarterback in high school, so it's a little easier for him to read the coverages and stuff.
So have you helped him with that transition since you did the same thing, going quarterback to receiver, and he's doing that transition? Have you been sort of his mentor making that adjustment?
Yeah, when we watch film, he's my guy. All the veterans get a guy to go through the film with, so he's my guy. So I've been trying to get him to learn everything, but he's smart. He picks up on everything fast, so I think he'll be all right.
Is there a story behind the Worm nickname?
He's got that skinny head, man. And his name's Germ, Worm.
Fair enough. And then the guys you've gone against in practice, you also got a bunch of freshman defensive backs. From who you've gone against in practice, who's stood out to you among the freshman DBs?
Man, we don't really see them DBs much, so I don't really know about the freshman DBs right now. I've been going against Banjo more than anything. One-on-ones is like the only guy I went up against, so I'm not really sure about the DBs right now. I haven't really seen them.
And then everyone's talking, for Texas Tech, everyone's talking about how Mike Leach is gone, so their offense may be totally different, but you don't hear a lot about their defense. What kind of changes do you expect with the new coaching staff out in Lubbock on the defensive side of the ball?
Coach Jones is saying they're going to come out in man free, and that's what I'm praying for. So I hope that's what they come out in. I mean, not very many people would play us man to man, but I hope they do. I think we could. If they play man, we're going to have some pretty good statistics going in there.